I think I have one more thing still in my mind. So when we practice techniques, these are techniques, and people focus then on the techniques, and they do the techniques, and we have different kind of techniques. But what actually people don't focus, even in a high level, they actually don't focus on the context. So the techniques don't happen in the air or in the space or in the whiteboard. They always happen in certain contexts, and this is something that people don't realize, that like, okay, we have these techniques. These techniques are made for this and this context, and these techniques are applicable for this context. Yeah, and then there are separate contexts that are, and people just practice these techniques and somehow don't know where to use them, and where it's kind of allowed to use them, where it's wise to use them, and where you should not use certain techniques. Of course, the main contexts are so there are the big borderline goes there, that there are rule-based context, and there are kind of non-rule based contexts. So this is non-rule, and this non-rule based context, it's called self-defense.
And this is sports.
This is sports or similar stuff. And then of course there is in my opinion, there is relatively narrow area which is actually which is actually suitable for both self-defense and sports type of context. Like, I don't know, boxing techniques might be so that no matter what kind of attack there is coming, I think you can use good boxing. If you have good punching skills, you can apply those in any situation. Either you defend yourself in the boxing ring, or you defend yourself on street or wherever you. Well, if you defend yourself on taekwondo sparring, then it's not allowed to use these. But also inside this rule-based boxing box, there are different boxes. Like my box is this full contact karate without full contact. So it means that we try to do techniques that if you do them in a full power, they would be suitable for full contact karate matches. But on the other hand, on full contact karate matches, you use techniques that are so they are so dangerous that you actually cannot use them on light sparring. Like I feel that if you have straight kick to the head, you actually cannot do it in a so safe way that you are absolutely sure that it's not hitting to the other person. So of course in full contact rings they are using straight kick to head, but in my opinion, if you do full contact karate without full contact, you shouldn't be practicing these straight kicks to head. So it's context based, and like we have persons in our this small training group where somebody might use elbow to the spine because they have just practiced it. So it's they have practiced elbow to spine in the same way as low kick, in the same way as some other techniques. So but all the techniques are happening in certain context, and I think this is missing from both students and from us teachers, understanding that which techniques are applicable in which situation.
Yeah, I think it's important because, I mean, if you, for example, practice elbows to the spine or to the neck, I mean, they're efficient techniques, and there is a context. If your life is threatened, you really need to survive extreme situations, then you can apply them. But if that's what you're gonna do when your uncle pushes you because he had too much to drink at the wedding and you use it, then it's not, of course, okay. You don't want to drill yourself to kill other people. a little bit linked to this. I made a separate video on it, but I think it's is this too high? No. And the non-rule, which we would say is like self-defense, and then we have the rule bundle, which is more like sport sort of things. And we discussed a lot about health, the importance of health. And what I've been trying to find for the last couple of years is like, what do we have that is functional in self-defense, and to some extent we can use it in sports, not because I'm interested in sports, but because sports can provide like a
safe
arena for or a safe way for practicing something with high intensity. So that's where we need the rules. It need to be good for your health. So I think these are kind of discussing the same thing.
Basically, so how I see it, I see it like that. In like for me, the safety is number one. So I see that health is here. So health is, in my practice, it's never compromised. So of course there are practices that are compromising health, but in my practice it's never compromised. So there on top of that we have this self-defense world, we have this sports world, and then I see this like this, that I know that there are techniques outside the health base, but for me everything I'm teaching, everything I'm practicing myself, so in my opinion, in my world, you cannot compromise the health thing. So it's always included. So I kind of rule these out from my world.
Since your focus is so much about the health, well, I think you added maybe 2 years ago, started adding more, what do you call it, like universal movement for the warm-ups and stuff, about doing the push-ups, doing the lunges and stuff. And I guess that's, well, of course warm-up, but also promoting the health.
It's true.
Because much of what you're teaching, the classes you're teaching about, the stand-up fighting, focusing on punching, kicking, which kind of you have at least from time to time to close and
that's
have
right.
posture.
I've been actually thinking that if we do a lot of boxing type of things, we should always open up ourselves, but I forget to do it.
So my question was, should there be, since we're getting older, the students we train with getting older, should there be more about this health aspect?
Or can we kind of include from technical perspective, can we include those issues to the techniques? I don't know. It's a good question.
The way I do it is, for example, if we teach kata, the real fighting, we take a habitual act of physical violence that comes at us, and we need to defend, and you might have to cover up, and you'll be in like a not healthy position for your body. But when you do the kata, well, of course you have the mindset of something really going on, but you still try to optimize a line, not like crouching down like this, but do the kata in a manner that you have a sound posture.
In a way that picture then is good. That and those are only pictures. Anyway, those are three aspects what we need to take into account, and we need to know in which are we here in this picture, or are we this picture, are we in this picture. It doesn't matter. Those are only pictures. The real things are different than pictures. But anyway, we need to know where we are.
Because these are not the only scenarios or contexts. Because even a self-defense scenario, it could be. Well, you're at the wedding and your uncle has too much to drink and you need to calm him down. Maybe he starts pushing you. That's one context. And then we could have like really extreme end.
Somebody is coming with the knife.
So both self-defense, yes, but completely different. What technique can you use? And because it's so many different contexts, it's complicated. That's why you need to have a broad perspective of what you're doing. And that makes it tricky. This is not the answer to everything.
In my opinion, it is.